It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, thanks, my friends, for tuning in on The Sam Lesante Show. Folks, today, another interesting show, but particularly this show, we have November 7th coming up, the election time, and one of the things that I really appreciate when I'm out in the community and people come up to me and they say, Sam, really appreciate the shows because you bring a lot of information to us, because you don't have that time to sometimes go to different fundraisers or campaigns or meetings, etc. So try to bring as much information to you as possible. And keep in mind, folks, when we do these shows, sometimes they rub people the wrong way. Sometimes people think, we would like to hear another story. I've always offered that to other people that come on. This happens to be a political show. An interesting thing is that, one of the things people say to me, and I get calls maybe once a week, Sam, what could we do, especially seniors? You seniors, they prey on you guys. Your taxes, your property taxes, your school taxes, your city taxes, your borough taxes, your township taxes, everything that affects your lives, all right? Well, people we put in office are the people that affect your lives. So what I say to you is it's important to know who you're voting for, and don't listen to all the nonsense of people calling you, vote for Sam Lesante, he's a nice guy. I got 25 signs all the way. It doesn't mean a pinch of crap, folks. Look for people who have made promises and kept promises, okay? Now, today, my guest, no stranger to the Sam Lesante Show, no stranger to anyone in Schuylkill County, is Holman, who is the district attorney. She's running for re-election, okay? Joining me a little later on will be Dr. Dave Moylan. Dave is the Luzerne Schuylkill County Coroner, okay? So, Christine, one of the things that you did, and boy, shame on you, you made promises and you kept them. What politician goes out there and says, I made these promises and I kept them? And, we talked about this before, okay? And I try to, particularly with seniors, Christine, people prey on them. Sometimes they don't know who to vote for. So you have the political parties, and you have the hacks, and you have all these people, vote for this person because, he's a Polish, and he's Irish, and he's Italian, all this kind of nonsense, and they paid a price for that. Wouldn't you agree?
I do agree, Sam, and I try to combat that, and I try to do things to protect seniors against fraud, double talk, you name it.
Now, speaking of seniors, okay, some things occur. I know you have an opponent, okay, and well, God bless him or whoever, but the point is, now, you pay a lot of attention to the seniors, along with everything else, blight and the whole thing. So now you're at a senior expo, okay? You're the district attorney.
Yes. You're
there giving information and helping seniors. And then I understand your political opponent makes an issue out of that. If I was your political opponent, I would say, Christine, good for you. You're out there speaking to seniors and giving them information. So you see how this thing goes.
Right, and
tell me the story. What happened there?
It's a simple story. The Diacon group has a senior expo every year. It's big. They attract 50 to 100 vendors, and they have it at the Fairlane Village Mall in Pottsville. And it's the same time every year, typically mid-October. Myself and many other exhibitors who cater to senior citizens put up a display booth. My display booth consists of all of the pamphlets that I've developed personally that can help seniors. My most prominent scams and solutions, which they went like hotcakes, pamphlets on elder abuse. My newest one was the email scam virus and also Medicare fraud. So it was a great day. It started out great. I met all, the other exhibitors. Seniors who came by had actual questions for me. In fact, my chief detective, Dolly Malik, was with me. She and I are the elder abuse task force in Schuylkill County. We actually had one woman bring us 3 letters that she received in the mail. She wanted us to open them. And as soon as I saw the outside of the letter, was nicely decorated, red, white, and blue, but it didn't. It had, prepaid bulk postage. And when I opened it, it's, said, "You too could be a millionaire." And it went through all this verbiage and rhetoric. And the bottom line was they wanted her to pay X amount of dollars to get in this club. So we confiscated the letter. I'm now going to be using that in my addendum to Scams and Solutions. But the day was phenomenal as far as how many seniors talked to me, and I felt that I helped. Now that is part of my job. There was no political activity whatsoever happening. That would not be the right thing to do, and it wasn't. However, my opponent or someone in that camp came by, took some photos, and prominently put it to Facebook that Christine Holman was politicking on work time. So shame on them. It was not any politicking. It was my work. It was my job.
I bring this up only because probably 98% of Schuylkill County doesn't even know about this, okay? But I bring it up because here again, and with all due respect to your opponent, okay, I only want to deal with facts here.
Sure.
All right, and I've been a strong supporter of. I don't care whether you're a Democrat, Republican. It doesn't make any difference to me, okay? Unfortunately, we have people who are diehard Democrats. I'm voting even for you'll vote for the devil if he was a Democrat or a Republican. I think that's wrong. But when some things like that happen, I begin to get questions as to where is the constructive part here? If I'm running against you, I'm going to say this is what, this is who I am. Now, when I said your promises made and promises kept, I brought this up last time. Governor Corbett, okay, there's a guy who was fantastic. Ran for Attorney General, promised, made it, promised. Governor, everything he said he was doing brought things down, but people wanted their power back. Right. And, Christine, I have a problem with this power-driven, you see it in your parties, okay? People want power. But the people who are suffering are the average person out there. And I think it's so critical to see who the person is via shows like this, via articles in the newspaper, via radios, whatever the case may be, get that information out. What do you tell Schuylkill County voters? Okay, you're going up for re-election.
Yes.
Okay, what do you tell them, all right? Other than what you've been explaining for years on my show in different places.
What I tell them, Sam, is that I was thankful to be elected. I've come a long way, and I would like to continue my work. The platform that I ran on as far as combating drugs, I've been really, putting drug raids together with the local state police and the drug task force. I've expanded the drug task force. The district attorney's office actually was able to hire another detective to work solely with the drug detectives. We just had a big bust October the 4th. I've been doing that since I've been elected because that's what I wanted to do. That's what I promised to do. That's what I believed was important to be done. The other area of great concern to me is the issue of blight. The issue of blight is the broken window theory, the dilapidated buildings. I know I've probably told you this before, Sam. I started a code enforcement association in helping code enforcement officers learn how to deal with the court system and also how to have government and all the municipalities partner together to combat this problem. It seems to be working. I've had some convictions with regard to public nuisances, municipal housing code avoidance crimes, whether they were some guilty pleas. We had some demolitions happen in Schuylkill County, and people are paying more attention to these blighted properties that are nothing but hotbeds for criminal activity.
Well, you have a spot running now with Kevin Marchetti, and here's testimonial. Folks, I'm talking to Christine Holman, District Attorney in Schuylkill County. She's up for re-election. And shame on her, folks. Shame on her. She made you promises and she kept them. Boy, how many politicians have told you? I remember going back years ago, Governor Randall comes in, and I'm not picking on Governor Randall, but here's the fact. Seniors won't have property taxes. Seniors are going to will not be concerned about school board taxes with the casinos. Remember all that bull that they gave you? And they're continuing to give you a bull every day. They continue to lie to you every day. Vote for people who you know. If you think she's not doing the job, do not vote for her. But find out who's doing the job and vote for them, because we need that. Especially you seniors, don't let them pounce on you. We'll be back later on. Dr. Moylan, no stranger to the channel here. You see him on Modern Medicine. Where is the connection between the Schuylkill County Coroner's Office and the District Attorney's Office? We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, ssptv.com. You can watch all of our shows. My email, sam@ssptv.com. And folks, remember, download our app, SSPTV. Just search SSPTV. All the shows that we produce are on this app. It's all local neighborhood programming, which is so important for you to understand. And once again, thank you so much, folks, for all those people that when you see Deb and I, either in the grocery store or whatever, you come up and make a special effort and thank us for the shows we're doing. The girls are doing great, and the show, the girls are doing great, and so appreciate that very much. It's all local programming. Speaking of local shows, Modern Medicine, as you know, is featured here, and also on Comcast 190 with Dr. Moylan. Doc, you're doing a great job with that show.
Thanks.
I want you know
Appreciate
a lot of
the
information.
inspiration.
And I have people call us after you're doing the show and saying, you know, who is that doctor, who is this, etc. So not you, but the doctors you interview. Anyway, Dr. Moylan joins us on this show, folks. It's Christine Holman's here. She's the Schuylkill County District Attorney, running for re-election. And so, Doc, as a Schuylkill County coroner, okay, how important is it working with a district attorney, particularly with District Attorney Christine Holman?
I can't emphasize the importance of having a good working relationship with the DA's office, Christine in particular, and law enforcement in general, because we provide one part of the puzzle, and that is the cause and manner of death. That is just key to working any prosecution. And we've cooperated with our office, state police, and we obtained what's called a forensic autopsy at great expense, because there's not that many forensic pathologists around. There's just not. And it's been a great working relationship. But I want to comment on some of your opening remarks where you chided Christine for keeping promises. She's not a politician. That's the problem. She's a professional, and,
Yeah, I mean,
and our team ran on professionalism.
Shame, I say shame on her.
But-
she tells the people she's doing it, and she actually does it. Wow, what politician
But
does that today?
A fine lawyer, and now just taking that experience into as a public servant.
You mentioned about some statistics, okay? You had some statistics about people who had died, okay? And I think that was a good tribute to Christine, but tell the viewers.
I want to share it with you, and I sent this to Christine also.
Thank you.
This was
Now, these are facts, right?
Well, yes, and I want to quote the New York Times.
Okay.
Of all,
well, they're not my best favorite, but or at least
but
there's sometimes they
this
have
was
some.
an article that they published on October 7th, and it was about New Hampshire, and the president has kind of pinpointed New Hampshire as being a hotbed for drug overdose and drug activity. But the pathologist up there, it sounds like he's pulling his hair out, and in fact, he's going to retire this year to go into the ministry. But he studied some statistics in New Hampshire, and again, it's a small state, but they had last year, 2016, 500 deaths, and that's increased tenfold since the year 2000. That's a frightening statistic, in a small rural state. But nationwide, listen to this statistic. Nationwide, there's 64,000 overdose deaths last year. 64,000. Vietnam was only 56,000. So we're going through a Vietnam every year. But can I share with the viewers our statistics for Schuylkill County, which we've been tracking? Year 2014, we had 25 drug-related deaths, and that's still a lot for a small rural county. We only have about 46,000.
46,000 people.
Yeah, so 25. Year 2015, it more than doubled, 56 deaths. That was the handwriting on the wall. And then 2016, wow, 78 deaths.
Yeah.
78 deaths. And in fact, we're working closely with the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency out of Philadelphia, as you are, and they came up with a compilation of drug-related deaths in the state of Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, Schuylkill County, little Schuylkill County, we're in the top quartile, the top 25% of drug-related deaths, and we want to make that go away. And I think, with Christine at the helm of the DA's office, Christine, every time I turn around, there's a drug bust, to tell you the truth. But this year, through October, now some of these are pending because it takes a while to get the drug toxicologies back, but it looks like we've had only 28. So we're getting back to the pre-epidemic.
We're on the downside.
Hopefully we can maintain that.
We can maintain that, yes.
Although we have the holidays coming up, and the holidays are always a bad time for suicides and drugs.
You see, Christine, when Christine is giving information out, these information to pamphlets, it takes a while. And you've been working with the drug force for a while, and it's education, the drug, bust that you're doing. So it takes a while to educate, okay? And I think that's critical. You've seen that, you've seen it, right, Christine?
Yes, well, and I'm also considering the fact that Schuylkill County in January of 2017 started the drug treatment court. And we were able to take at least 36 applicants that we've been working with on a weekly basis, getting to know these individuals who are self-proclaimed addicts. And perhaps that is one of the reasons that we're looking at this downslide in overdoses. So we'll have to keep a look at that correlation.
You had given a symposium, which I did attend, and you had a lawyer that was involved in the drug court. I want to say it was Lackawanna or Luzerne?
Luzerne County, yes. He was the president of the Drug Court Association, and I had him be the guest speaker. At that point, we had been approved for drug treatment court. We didn't have the federal funds that we had asked for. We only had the state funds. But great news for Schuylkill County, we were just approved for the federal grant, which there'll be an influx of monies coming into Schuylkill County to hire more probation officers, drug and alcohol evaluators, and really to complement the entire team.
We have people like sometimes when we zero in on the seniors right now, and why is this important, what you're saying? Because as you know, people who are using drugs, they steal, they rob.
Exactly.
And the seniors are the prime victims. So to try to cut down that crime on seniors from these drug addicts who want the drug that bad and they don't care what they do. So it's to see this as domino effect, okay, that affects everybody, Christine.
It does, and in fact, one of the segments of my scams and solutions is the grandparent scam, and this one's pretty sad, where we had a 91-year-old woman who her granddaughter's boyfriend called and said, "I need to get you to the Mac machine. Your granddaughter is going to have to stay in jail if she doesn't pay her $100 in costs and fines." Well, she didn't need the $100 for costs and fines. They needed the $100 to buy some heroin and to shoot it up.
Dave,
it's all over.
Dave, you ran for Congress, okay, and I think if you would have had, and I'm not saying this because I think if you would have had a little bit more time, to do your campaign, and if you would have had more money, okay, which is sad. I mean, okay, no, if you would have been the congressman, okay, but you went out and you campaigned. You won Schuylkill County Coroner by a huge amount, okay. I guess the people realized that you are doing a job. But here again, we have politicians who, you know, they want, it's power, which is sad. If they were constructive, I would appreciate that. Bring this up is, so you've seen going to people's homes, what they're looking for and what people are desiring, okay, from our public officials. In general, what do you think they're looking for? To re-elect Christine Holman, okay, what do you think they're looking for?
One of the things that I hear in these kitchen clashes and the need to be normal, to lead a normal human life without the fear and burdens that you see coming at you. You know, I'm going to lose my job. The health insurance is going sky high. So these are all concerns. People just want to be left alone to a degree and carry on the activities of daily living.
And that's what I say, but who speaks for these people? Well, we have you, Christine, as a district attorney, okay? Right. You have to speak for these, and here again, I get the same thing. I mean, I'm really humbled and I'm very thankful when seniors come up to me or people. I mean, I'll tell you a story at lunch, what happened with the young people. I mean, a lot of young people, okay, are seeing these things happen. You mentioned about, they're concerned about young girls, young guys. I'm talking about 18 to 20-some, 25. Their protections, they're not going to be hit with drugs. I have 3 grandchildren, 14, 13, and 11. I'm nervous because I don't want someone going up and trying to get them on drugs. So you're educating people to that.
Sam, I had a woman just recently come up to me and say, I need to thank you. And I said, you know, for what? Oh, okay. She said, well, my son is in prison, and I'm happy that he's incarcerated, that you tried him on those drug crimes because he's alive. And when he gets out, I'm hoping that we can work with him, meaning they can find him a rehab and that he'll get on his feet. But what I find about being the district attorney, and one of the things that I enjoy the most, is I have an open door policy. I want to hear from my constituents. I want to hear their concerns. I want to hear their highs and lows. But if they have a problem, they should know there's one person that will listen all the time, and that's me.
Folks, you're watching the Sam Lesante Show. I'm talking to Christine Holman, who is the Schuylkill County District Attorney running for re-election. Once again, we're asking all the viewers to know the candidates, know the opponent, know Christine, and then make a decision. The district attorney's position is a very, very important, critical position. It affects everyone's lives, okay? Joining us today is Dr. Dave Moylan, as I said, no stranger. Watch his show, Modern Medicine. In fact, you could download the app, it's there. He's the Schuylkill County coroner. Here again, Dave comes on as a coroner and accomplishes tons of things, but politicians sometimes don't like to see success. They don't like to see success. They don't want to see you succeeding, your opponents, or this, because the other party, and again, I don't care Democrat, Republican, and this is what fries me the most, is the fact that they'll do, you know, the good old boy club. Hey, we was a county commissioner, I told you this before. He was the most popular guy in the county. He patted backs and he had drinks with everybody, and he had billboard signs, and he didn't know crap about what was going on. The poor people in Luzerne County were getting ripped off big time because he was a popular guy or a popular woman. I don't care. If you're popular and you have substance, then vote for that person. Would you agree?
Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
It's like, I get a kick out of seeing all these signs, vote for Sam Lesante. I'm just using an example. I could have a zillion signs out there. I could have billboards as big as this building. What do you know about me? What do you know about the person? So you vote for get that sign out. Well, if I see your sign, oh, that's the girl who was on the Sam Lesante show. She started this, she started that. It's a reminder. But these people with signs just blow me away. They'll spend tons of money with signs, but they won't spend any money on letting people know who they are. Agreed or disagree?
Agreed, Sam. And I've been probably to about 50 of the 67 municipalities, knocking on people's doors, telling them who I am, that I'm running for re-election. I want to know if they have any concerns. I'm asking them personally for their vote. Yes, I have signs all over the county as well.
Yes.
But signs don't vote.
Right.
It's the people that I see that vote.
I got a minute for you. Why should people vote, re-elect Christine Holman? Give me a minute.
I'd like to add to one of her other accomplishments. She's been a stalwart in elder abuse, which again dovetails between the coroner's office when we detect a situation where this person was not taken care of, and then we do some forensics on the bank account and somebody's ripping them up. That's Christine's bailiwick there. She's been great at that.
So you would vote for her? Do
Without
I get
question.
that?
Without
Do I
question.
get? Well, okay.
She has my
Christine,
complete endorsement.
yeah, and that's a powerful endorsement. Christine, you got 30 seconds. Tell our viewers, because next time we'll hear from you is after the election. Tell our viewers why they should re-elect Christine Holman, and there's your camera right there.
Certainly. I'm a hard worker. I love my job, and I do promise Schuylkill County that I will work just as hard as I've been working, even harder. I've got a lot of new ideas, and I think I can even be better 4 years going into it with the experience I've gained. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. 50 of the 67 municipalities, she's been knocking on doors. 4 years, she promises things, and she kept the promises I kept. Shame on her, she's not a politician. Of course, good politicians make for good government, I must say that. And so, folks, no matter who you're going to vote for, I don't care. Please, do not let anyone talk you into voting for anybody because they're nice guys, nice women, or whatever. Look at who the person is. Just like you look for a doctor when you need some serious operations. You don't care how popular the guy is or girl is. You want to make sure they have the credentials. Do that for this election. We'll see you next time.